Alright, I'm gonna pull up the map for this one. So basically,
Okay.
you were playing here inside a boiler to watch
Mhm.
this angle. Now, that is not a bad play
Mhm.
if you have a teammate here holding your halls. When you play here, after your teammate in the apartments die, or he dies, you expose yourself to two angles, to two different angles, and you can only watch one of them at a time.
Okay.
So when you're man down, you can't really afford to play this angle because you're just exposing yourself to too many angles at once. Someone also could have come up mid and killed you because your teammate is playing in arches. So you,
Okay.
when you position yourself on CT side, you want to put yourself in a position where you can only get shot at from, only like one or two angles. You put yourself in a
Mhm.
position where you're exposed to like multiple angles. So that's something to think about.
Okay.
So honestly, a big problem that a lot of players around your level have is that they don't necessarily have the worst aim or crosshair placement, but um, it's just not very good situational positioning. Don't use your smoke or like try not to use your nades until like you hear the T's do something. Like as a CT, your objective should be to use your utility like as a response to something that the terrorists are doing.
Okay.
So for a position like halls, that's not a position that T's are going to rush at the beginning of the round. So for you, you really shouldn't be worrying about smoking that unless one of your teammates or you hears that they're actually running through the apartments. You should be trying to hold on to your smoke and your molly as long as you can because that's what's going to win you rounds in the late game or
Okay.
in like later stages of the round, I should say.
Yeah, we don't do that enough on our team, so
Yeah,
we
so
should have put him
we
on
already
there.
talked about this, but basically, just as like a general rule of thumb, for if a terrorist is running through alt mid and they run into the apartments, the time where they get to this point full sprint is about like a minute 39.
Okay.
So you throwing this smoke at a minute 45 when they can't even be there yet is like not very good. So like just
Mhm.
remember this timing. Like the fastest they get here is like 140, 139. So just keep that in mind. And also, you don't really need to throw this smoke unless you actually hear them coming.
All right.
Because the
Yeah.
rest of you guys can't play. Alright, you push shots to get a kill. That's good. Alright. I would fall back here because I know where you are, but I guess this is fine. This isn't a bad play necessarily, it's just not the play I would make.
Mhm.
And then you get traded. Like when you like get aggressive and get kills like that, if you have the main advantage, you should always try to fall back and just play the
Okay.
numbers game. After you got that second kill, you should have started running away. Like
Yeah, like you could.
I know that sounds boring, but like it's how
Uh.
you win rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, you're peeking like you're waiting too long to peek with your flash. Like if that they are already not blind when you peek.
Okay.
If that flash does blind them.
Mhm.
Like if you're going to do something with a flash, you need to do it the second that that flash pops. Otherwise, there's
Okay.
no point.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right, so the problem there is that you were looking at lane when your teammate was there. Your main
Mhm.
focus when you have a teammate alive in lane is you just need to focus solely on the apartments.
Okay.
And you don't have to exclusively play here
Uh
either.
huh.
I'm a pit player myself. I play here, I play here, I play here, I play on top of the balcony, I play on top of the sight box, I play in graveyard sometimes. Like
Okay.
mix up your positioning like a lot, especially as the pit player. There's so many little gay angles that you can play to like completely catch
Mhm.
that guy off guard. Like if you just
Yeah.
sit here every round, you just get mollied and you get pre-fired. I rarely ever play here, just
Okay.
because of how common of a spot it is. This setup that you have is fine with your teammate behind you. When you have pistols,
Mhm.
you should like. This is a good spot, but you should stay in this spot. When you went to peek this, he killed you
Hmm.
because he had a better weapon for that fight. When
Yeah.
if he gets all the way up to here and you're still here, that's a better engagement for you because you have the pistols. The pistols are best at close range, so you should take advantage of that.
All
One
right.
thing you keep in mind with when you're peeking is like, is this a smart engagement to take? Like, if I have a pistol, is it smart for me to go peek down these halls? Probably not. So you want to either like stay in this corner, maybe play double pit with your teammate. Double pit is a pretty strong setup as well.
Okay.
Also, I have no idea what strat you're running, but going two guys up banana with no nades is not very smart.
I think they were trying to just have banana control and make them think that like we were gonna hold B,
Okay,
and then we were gonna go A.
if you want to establish banana control, have one of your teammates sit here and throws a flash that goes here to make anyone playing here to go back. That's how you take banana control, is with a flash here. If you just send two guys dry, this guy is going to peek you and kill you, which is exactly what he did. So you molly car here, that's fine.
I think I died now.
Did your teammate flash for you?
No.
Alright, yeah. Have your teammate start like if you want to take banana control, you could probably get away without get away with not using nades at the level you play at, but eventually when
Hmm.
you get better, if you want to take banana control consistently, you got to have someone flashing for you. Otherwise, it's just free kills for that guy sitting behind the smoke.
All right.
Using flashes like this, like the one you have lined up, this is a very
Hmm.
good flash. However, what is that flash doing for your team right now?
Nothing because nobody's pushing up banana.
Correct.
All right.
Don't throw your nades just for the sake of throwing them. One way I like to think about this is think about it like a budget. Like when you make a budget for like your
Hmm.
money, you give each dollar a purpose. Give each
Hmm.
grenade in your inventory a purpose. So the
All right.
purpose of throwing this flash is I'm gonna flash top banana so that my teammate can peek car without dying. You know,
Okay.
if you just throw that flash like how you're throwing it now, these flashes do nothing. You just wasted $400.
Okay. Yeah, I don't even like think about that like when I'm in the middle of the game. So that's one thing.
Yeah,
I
I
don't really.
mean, it's a step above most players because most players buy full nades and then don't even use them. So,
Hmm.
it gets worse. But
Yeah.
honestly, your aim doesn't even look that bad playing against these guys. It's just that your positioning and crosshair placement is not the best.
Yeah.
In a 1v1, obviously you don't know where he is, but like the best spot to plant is right here because from right
Is that
here,
default?
yeah, that's default. Default is the
Okay.
best place to plant because I'm gonna draw all the different positions that you can play from when you plant default.
Hmm.
It's a lot. You could play
Yeah.
pretty much anywhere when you plant default, like on this side of A,
Yeah.
and it can be planted for you. So if you can, you should always plant default.
Okay.
Now the one exception to that is if you're coming in from this side of the map, in which you
Yeah.
might want to plant here for library, because even when you plant here, you can still see that angle from pit. But if you're coming up lane and you're taking lane side, always plant default.
Okay.